Okay, so now we're going to learn about a slit. So a slit is when you don't do a dovetail. So a dovetail shares, so if this is the warp string, it shares the one color, the other colors share a warp string. And a slit is when they don't actually come back together. So there'll be a warp string in between them. So one warp string will be here, and oops, the other warp string will be over there. One color's there, one color's here. So I'll show you what that looks like. So I'm just going to start to weave like normal, and start from the bottom as always, work my way up. And tuck this little tail in. I've shown you guys a couple times that I do. And I'm not going to really pay attention to how thick this is. I'm just going to keep going, doing my thing. And I'm just going to pretend like I'm just going around that and like it doesn't actually exist. Okay. So I was thinking about skipping up ahead to that. All right, there we go. And so for every row of this, I might actually have to do 2. So I'm going to do 1. So what I'm talking about is for every row, I know I keep moving this, for every row of fabric, I'm probably going to have to do 2 rows of yarn, or 3. So I'm going to do that, go back, do this. I'm going to keep doing that, and see how it's not, they're separate. Let me get closer, sorry about that. There we go. Let's focus again. See how these are separate? They are not together. That's going to create a slit. It's going to create a whole line across this where it's not woven together. But at the end, I'll have one piece that comes back all the way across this and my next color. Over here, I'll dovetail into it. So I'm just going to keep going. Again, so that's my second one for this. Oops, I just undid my knot over there. Keep going. So that's the 3rd row I did. And see how it's just not as thick as this one? I'm just going to keep going until I'm as thick as that, so that I can go straight across. Do this a couple more times. Making sure you keep your bubble. I think I'm going to do this 2 more. So 1, 2. I still got to do it. See how this is taking me a little bit to build the back up so that I can go to the next one. Alright, so this one should be good. And then now I'm just going to hop across to here. That. And then I'm actually going to come and grab this one. There we go. So see how there's a hole in there? That's okay. That's what I'm working towards. And then again, I'm actually going to bring it all the way over to this, over here. Alright. Make sure you keep doing your bubble. And then, so I think that took me like 5 rows to actually build it up to be tall enough to go across. So I'm going to just keep doing that. And again, it's going to create a hole. Well, there will be a slit in between there. And that's okay. That's definitely a weaving technique. It's definitely a thing, so don't be alarmed. Just make sure you're not getting tight and you're not doing your hourglass shape. You got your bubble. Okay. I can do this last row, come back across, and then I'll skip across to the next. And then I will make my next one. There. Oop. Getting a little tight there, and then coming back. Okay, so that's how you make a slit. Again, it's different than a dovetail, because a dovetail, I would have gone back and shared this, but notice I didn't want to do that because of how big, if you see how big those gaps are, what's happening, you see how big those are? So that'll happen, and if you wind up doing a dovetail, those gaps are going to wind up just really sticking out in the end of your project. And now I'm hand doing it because, you know, getting towards the end of my yarn. And then, yeah. So, if you have any questions, let us know. But that is how you make a slit. Alright. Next, we're going to learn about some raya knots, or raya knots. There you go.